Hey guys, good evening. It is John C Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Actually, good morning, I should say. It's 12:06 a.m. It's been a crazy week, as you guys know. Today is actually the launch, March 1st, of our play, which is 7:30 tonight, 7:30 tomorrow, and 2 o'clock on Sunday. So great to see you. That's why you probably see I have this blue shirt underneath, which is actually our Flow Folly shirt. I didn't change when I got back, but I've been wearing it every day, so I'm pretty much ready to go, and I have different slacks that I wear, so I'm ready to go for the show. But anyway, I do want to thank you for being here, and I promise to get these out to you, which I do all the time. We start on Saturday, we roll through the week, and we finish up on a Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for being here, all right? Whether you're here at 12 a.m., 12 noon, or 3 a.m., 3 p.m., or maybe even 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., whatever it is. Thanks so much for being here, all right, everyone? So our master topic for the week is changes that happen at work, Series 3, show number 9. The S3 means we're in the third series. And our challenge master topic actually for today is unlocking work success, overcoming trust issues, recognition gaps, Series 3, show 9, episode number 6. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I can't believe we're in Series 3, where that just kind of like blows my mind that that we're there, and just love creating all this great content for you guys. It's just amazing to be able to do that for you guys. So thank you very, very much. And let's just get on with our show, shall we? Here we go. All right. So the first thing we want to talk about when we talk about challenges that happen at work, one is trust issues. Now, maybe you know someone, or maybe you've been involved with some types of trust issues. Building trust is a foundational, a cornerstone for success of any team, any organization, anything really. So, how do you build that trust? I think you have to know that you have to go slow. A lot of people want to go fast because they want to rush the top, but you want to go slow, because when you go slow, you don't make mistakes. You do not make mistakes. And by not making mistakes, you also don't waste any resources in addition to money and things like that. So I think it's important, but I know a lot of people, they want to get right to the top of the ladder, but they don't necessarily want to do the work to get to the top of the ladder. They want to take an elevator up, or they want to take a helicopter up, or, they want somebody to carry them up. Now, I'm being facetious here, but you get what I'm saying, that, in order to get to the top of the ladder, you got to do the work to get to the top of the ladder, right? And so when you're building a relationship, trust issues can be a big problem that can dramatically affect your work, either positive or negatively. So when you build trust from a very core point, from your inner, that is, well, then people start to know that you're really a good guy, or good girl, a good gal, I should say. And so that's really important, is trust. Trust is so very, very important. I cannot emphasize that enough. The second thing I want to share with you, and that is lack of recognition. Now, some people might feel they're undervalued at work, or that, they'll get demotivated. They want to tackle a lot of challenges, but unfortunately, people always steal the thunder from them. Now, you don't do it for the recognition, but, when you put all that hard work in, you don't want somebody to steal the mic away from you, right? You want to get your time in the light too. I mean, maybe you weren't expecting to be in the light, but if somebody tries to steal it from you, well, you're like, well, that should have been me, right? You weren't looking for it, but you actually don't want somebody to take it away from you, because I think that's a bad thing when somebody does it. It's just a bad act. And I think a lot of people right now say to me, hey, John, how do we handle the issue of lack of recognition at work? So how do we handle lack of recognition at work? How do we handle that? Well, when you're not being recognized at work, there may be a reason for it. It might be the culture you're in. It could be a lot of things, right? So it could come from the fact that you're not getting credit on projects. You're feeling underappreciated or not appreciated at all. And so when you get recognized, you're wishing that people will give you a pat on the back, they'll express some type of gratitude toward you. And maybe you want your leader to thank you or your colleagues to say, job well done. Could be just some words of gratitude or affirmation. Maybe you need more gratitude at work, and it may be a sign of the lack of recognition you're getting. People want to advance, and they also feel unfulfilled because they can't advance. And it's important to develop your skills to grow your qualifications so that you can advance. Maybe you're managing too many tasks and you're burning the candle at both ends. You don't receive credit on shared projects if you work with your colleagues or leader to produce a shared project, but your name doesn't appear on the title slide. It may be a sign that you're not being recognized at work. And so a lot of times people say, well, gee, you know what, I'll take credit for this one, you take credit for the next one. But everybody knows we're like a team effort. So how do you address not being recognized? Well, one, you have to evaluate the situation. You have to come at it from an unbiased position. Because a lot of times, the ego gets involved. Oh, I want to be recognized. But really, you don't need to be recognized. You see, I found that when you're not recognized and you walk with that, soft, a big stick, you never have to use it. People revere you. People want to recognize you. So develop relationships with administration, also with people on your team in higher levels, lower levels. That's very important. Apply for company or industry awards. Volunteer for optional responsibilities. When you do this, the management team might say, gee, you're really going above and beyond. We want to do something extra for you. Be proactive when it comes to problem solving. Offer your input during meetings. Don't just be a bump on a log. Provide recognition to your colleagues. You know what it's like to want recognition. So do they. So why don't you help them? And when you help them, they're going to help you. Communicate honestly about what the heck is going on. Maybe it's not going the way you want it to go, but communicate. That is a big, big one, ladies and gentlemen. You have to learn how to communicate. Maybe if it's not working out for you guys, maybe you need to find another position. I mean, it's not the nicest thing to say, ladies and gentlemen, but maybe you need to find another position. I'm sorry. It might be the right thing for you. There might be just a clash of personalities. Track, how are you doing things? Maybe you need a mentor. And so, when you feel, undervalued at work, it's like you don't want to put the effort anymore. And, you have to say to yourself, well, gee, I don't want to do this because I'm not getting recognition. And I get that. Trust me, I get it. But did you do the job for recognition in the first place? No. Be in competition only with yourself. While it's impossible to live in a vacuum where you never compare yourself to others, you can make a conscious effort to focus on thinking about how you have improved over time. This is really constructive and great. Choose who you want to seek recognition from. There's no shame in being intentional about whose feedback you give more importance to. Remember the power of one. Reflect on one person who had an appreciable impact on your life in a positive way. And think about it. Parent, teacher, partner, friend, writer, podcast host, celebrity, or historical figure. And aspire to be more like that person. Give others recognition. Okay. Give others recognition. Recognize them for their work. Even if it's something small. Hey, that's great the way you did that. I really like that skill. Or that's really cool. You did a great job on this, or whatever it was. Live in accordance with your values. Examine your personal values and your priorities. No one can tell you what they are. That's the first thing. Don't let people, fill your value chains. You have to decide what's right for you. Life can feel like a race to get to the finish line, of where you're going. But when those aspirations are solely based on seeking recognition from others, you risk self-sabotaging and emotional distress. So let me say that again. So basically, if you're doing something because you're hoping to get recognized for it, and then you don't, it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Like, I'm really just up a creek. No, you're not up a creek. It's just like, what are you doing? Right? What are you actually doing? And I think that's what it comes down to. What is it you're doing, and why are you doing something a certain way? Why? I mean, that's the question I want to ask you. Why are you doing something a certain way? And if you don't know the answer to that, ladies and gentlemen, then maybe you need to ponder and sit back and say, you know what? I did this, I did that, but I don't really know what I should be doing or what I shouldn't be doing. And that might sound crazy, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And a lot of times people be like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Right? They don't know what they're supposed to do. So when you invest in yourself, you really go forward. You decide that it's about you. It's about you, ladies and gentlemen. It is about you. And if it's about you, then I think you'll start to realize that life can be amazing when the story is about you. Let me say that again. Life can be amazing when the story is about you. Life can be amazing when the story is about you. Life can be amazing when the story is about you. And I'm talking about your own story. I'm not talking about somebody else's story. And I'm not saying to put yourself first, but I'm saying that we have to know why we do something or why we don't do something, right? I think that's a huge, huge flag. We have to know why we do something. And if we don't, then, maybe we're losing motivation ourselves to why we, want to go forward, why we want to do something in life. Are we just doing it because we're hoping somebody's going to get up and praise us? Or are we making an impact on society? Are we making an impact on society? And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to know what's going on. Okay. I think a lot of people I talk to want more in their life, but they're expecting the more to come from everyone else, not from themselves. And something, ladies and gentlemen, that's where you can get the best recognition from. Get it from yourself. Get it from yourself. Because when you get it from yourself, it's like your whole world is going to change. Your whole world is going to change because you know what motivates you. You know what it is. So do more of that. Do more of that. And if you don't know what that is, then maybe you need to experiment. Maybe you need to figure out what is it that you're doing or that you're not doing. What is it? And I feel that you can make a huge difference in your life if you just start learning what it is that you want in life. All right? What it is that you want in life. That's, ladies and gentlemen, that's a pretty amazing thing. And the last thing I want to talk about, really important, is we talked about this before, but I want to talk about it again. It's called creating a flexible workspace because I don't want to underestimate the power of creating a flexible workspace. It is so powerful. When we learn what a flexible workspace is, it's like we know that there's a promise. Okay? And knowing that you are an expert of what makes you happy. If you spend your whole life making everyone else happy, and you can make other people happy too, but don't forget to make yourself happy. I see people in jobs and they don't like what they do. The biggest thing I want to share with you is something called respect. RESPCT. We've talked about it before. And it's funny, respect doesn't become a major player until you realize that you might be the only player, or that nobody wants to play with you anymore, or be on your court or on your team. Maybe it's your attitude. So creating a flexible space, we talked about in the very beginning about trust issues. And trust happens when you're young. It can happen as you get older. Trust is something that you cannot rush. When trust is built, you have integrity, you have reliability, you have dependability. And if somebody breaks this trust, it's not easy to rebuild it. If something happens like an emergency, sure, you can be pretty easy and forgiving on that. But if somebody just keeps blowing you off, then maybe it's time to say, wait, but you know what? This person might not be a fit for me. They might not be a fit for me. And if they're not a fit for me, then what do I do? What is it I do? And if I don't know what I do, then I've got to just sit and take some time and figure out what I can do. Because when we don't pat ourselves on the back, you know what we do? We start self-sabotaging ourselves. Let me say that again. When we don't pat ourselves on the back, we self-sabotage. So be in competition with you, only you, and figure how you can make you better. Okay? It's okay to ask others and know who you want to get recognition from, but if they don't give it to you, don't put a pity party on. Don't stop achieving your life's promises because somebody else, is not in alignment with them. Remember to give others recognition and always live within your values. Don't create values that are not in alignment with who you are and your core and your person. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you this fantastic evening. I hope you'll like, love, and support the channel. Comment below. Tag your friends, colleagues, associates. I'll catch you guys real soon, all right? We'll have a wrap-up tomorrow. And again, our master topic is challenges that happen at work. If you don't think challenges happen at work, ask yourself why you're not more productive. Chances are you're probably missing out on things because you're getting bogged down by drama that you don't need. Have yourself a great rest of your evening or morning. I'll catch you guys real soon. Take care.